care of yourself. It's worth it.
You are listening to Dolo Talks, a podcast hosted by strategic communication specialist and multimedia content creator Carlos Hicks, which will be discussing the tips, tricks, and challenges that self-starters encounter along their professional journeys. Thank you for tuning in to Dolo Talks, where our mission is to inspire and entertain. Enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? I'm Elijah Williams. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Some things I like to do in my free time, I like to play COD with my friends. I like to get out and go do hikes, and I do golf a little bit. I'm not that good, but I do golf a little bit, so those are some things I like to do in my free time.
All right, so I'm here with Elijah Williams. We're at Autzen Stadium right now, just doing a quick podcast. This is Carlos Hicks with Dolo Talks podcast, right here with linebacker number 47, Elijah Williams. Just tell me a little bit about you, man. Just, like where you come from and, just before you got to Oregon, just the high school process and that recruitment process, just let us know. Take us there, for anybody who's watching this video who wants to know what that's like.
Mm-hmm. So I come from the south side of Chicago. I went to St. Ignatius College Prep. I had a good 4 years there. I was a two-sport athlete. I played football and basketball. Growing up, basketball was always my first love. I always thought, if I was going to do anything in college or, beyond high school, it was always going to be basketball. But, kind of around 5th or 6th grade is when I really started, enjoying football, and that's when I actually started playing because I started off kind of late. So I started playing football. I wasn't really that good at first, but I had a growth spurt, and after that growth spurt, I just started getting increasingly better at football, and my interest kind of started to shift because I was doing a little bit better in football than I was in basketball. And so leading up to high school, I still did both because I enjoyed it, but I really found myself loving the game of football and enjoying the game of football more so than basketball. And as for my recruitment process, I went out, and my junior year I went to a bunch of camps and stuff like that, but I didn't really have that many offers. I maybe had a couple offers from some Ivy League schools and then some FCS schools, but I really didn't have too much attention going into my senior year. So my senior year I really wanted to ratchet down and focus on getting good grades and playing good football because I wanted to see how far this football thing could take me. And so that kind of set me on the path that I am right now.
What can you tell anybody who's out there who's watching you as an Oregon Duck? What advice can you give them as far as just focusing on the second option in case that second option has to, jump into the game and become that first option? What advice do you have to give in that kind of conversation?
So one thing I would always say is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Eventually, you're not going to be able to play football. Your body's not going to be able to handle the rigorous schedule of working out, playing football, or doing basketball, or whatever sport you're interested in. So you want to have that option or be able to be comfortable or happy with your life outside of sports. And so with that is how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're gonna go work hard and go all out on the field, put that same effort and energy into your classes because you never know when this opportunity goes away, another door could be open because of the working time you put in the classroom and working on goals other than just football.
What's really your favorite thing about being an Oregon Duck?
Me personally, my favorite thing about being an Oregon Duck is the connection and the resources that you have when you come out here. For me, one of my things ever since I've been growing up has been working for Nike, and being out here, I've been afforded the opportunity to get a chance to work for Nike, and that's something that I'm always grateful for, just the connection and the resources that I have access to out here.
If you're a person who's been on the map, with sports, whether it's or even music, times are changing. You can get hurt. You can say something stupid online, and there's the cancel culture. So what's the best way, in your opinion, to stay safe, stay protected, and to maintain that good image as a professional or as an athlete, on a public scale, such as being an Oregon Duck or working in the NFL or working for Nike? What's your take on that?
I say for me, you have to be mindful of the impact that you have, not just here, but everywhere. There might be somebody who you don't even know who's following you, watching everything you do just because they're inspired by your story. So whenever you're acting or doing something, like on like not even like on a large scale, but whenever you do something, just be mindful of the impact or like the implications that it will have, just because of like your name. I'm gonna be honest, like in this lifestyle, like if I do something, it's gonna be a lot more magnified than like if a regular college student went out and did that. If I go out to a party and I do something stupid, like the first thing you're gonna see is Oregon football player does something, like, you know. So just be mindful of like the way you do things, how you interact with people, because you never really know who's watching, and you never really know the impact that you truly have on people. So you just want to be mindful of like set a good example. And like for me personally, I have a little brother, so that's always been in the back of my mind. Like since I've grown up, like I know my little brother's watching to see what I do and like watching how I act. You know, that's just like how it is. And so that's always been something that I've had in the back of my mind, and just taking into consideration is you never know who's watching, and you never know the impact of like what your actions can have.
Alright, so this is Carlos Hicks with Dolo Talks Podcast. I am currently up here at the University of Oregon in Eugene right now with Elijah Williams. Here to just talk to him about, you know, his background, talk to him about his experience here at the University of Oregon and the recruitment process. Talk to him also about, you know, just what he likes to do on the weekends. We're camping, nature, you know, just outside of sports, just kind of just diving deep and getting to know who he is as a person. So we have Elijah Williams here.
What's up? Nice to meet you guys. Hopefully I can give you guys a little bit of an insight of what it's like to be a football player at the University of Oregon, and, you know, some things that I like to do in my free time and some other stuff. So appreciate you for coming out.
Oh yeah.
Let's go Ducks.
Let's do it. All right, so before we even begin, like, I just want to ask you, I always, you know, try to ask this question to whoever I'm interviewing. Just let me know, like, how are you? How is your mental health? Like, where are you mentally? And, you know, just let me know, talk to me about just your current state in life right now before we even get into any conversation about sports and about anything else.
I'd say right now I'm pretty good state. Like obviously, like there's stuff that like, you know, day to day that I have to worry about. But I feel like I'm right now. Like I feel that I have a good, strong support system behind me, and like good people that I can rely on and like help me even when the days do get hard. Cause like every day is not going to be like, you know, sunshine and roses. So I feel like I have a good support system around me to help me even when I do have days that aren't that great, you know, and go through those little tough times. So I think that's important.
Oh. I was kind of just talking about or looking at, you know, just life outside. We are young black males. The concept, topic of camping or getting outside might not be normal, you know, for our community. Kind of just let us know, you know, what your take is on just getting out, things like camping, fishing, just anything that's recreational. How are you engaged in that? And like, you know, what's your experience in that area?
Mm-hmm. So growing up, it's funny because like coming out here is like completely different. I grew up in, like I said, Chicago, and basically it's a concrete jungle. You don't see none of this. Like maybe the biggest tree we got is probably like one of these around here. But you know, being able to go out, come out here, and like be able to experience stuff like this and like see things that I've never experienced in my life before, like or like see like the acts of nature, like the man-made, not like stuff that isn't man-made. Like it's something that like I really liked coming out here when I was a freshman, and like it's something that's like stuck with me ever since then.
You mentioned, you know, Chicago being a concrete jungle. I was actually born in Chicago. My whole family lives there, but I never, you know, actually lived there. But, you know, just looking at my own family, you know, who's living in Chicago, they don't really get out, you know, too much. Their fun is kind of, you know, just clubs, cookouts, you know, family functions type of ordeals, but not more or less not outside, you know, at a house or whatever. You know, the difference between a place like Chicago and a place like Oregon, as you can see, you know, there's natural beauty out here. So, you know, just being in Oregon, like you mentioned, the trees is different. But like, what are some things that you would like to do that you haven't, you know, already done recreationally? I talked to, you know, Bryson a couple weeks ago. Y'all, as a team, went to Mount Hood to do a little bit of snow sledding. But you know, based off you being here for the amount of time that you've been here, what are some things that you like to, you know, have a chance to take advantage of while being in Oregon, sport or recreational wise?
That's a good question, because like I feel like I've been able to do a lot since I've been out here. Like I've been to the waterfalls, I've been snowboarding and skiing before. Like I've been to the coast. Like I've been to hot springs before, so like I don't know. My friends used to one of my friends used to call me like tour guide like a while back, just because like there was a lot of things that like I like to do or like that I did in my free time. So like I don't know. Like I definitely have to like I'd say probably just getting out to more spots that I haven't seen, just because like I feel like I've gotten to see like a good amount of like diverse spots and like diverse things that like Oregon has to offer. So maybe getting out to see more stuff like that. Because I will say like I haven't seen a lot of waterfalls. I've only seen one before. So going out and maybe see that. Yeah, I saw Mount Noma. So maybe going out and getting to see that would be something that's pretty cool.
What are some other spots like here that you visited? You know, just kind of checking out regularly.
So I've been to like Terwilliger, like Hot Springs, McKenzie, Blue Pool, like just different stuff like that. Let's see, what else have I been on? I've been on a bunch of different hikes, like Mount Pisgah, Spencer's Butte, just like a couple things like this, and then there's like some other small stuff that like doesn't really have like necessarily the name, but like stuff that like I've been like just found on my own and like went out and done on my own.
Man, yeah, have you checked out the sand dunes in Florence?
Yeah, I got one now. Right. I want to drive an ATV like on those sand dunes because I haven't gotten to drive. I've been to the sand dunes, but I haven't gotten to drive an ATV on the sand dunes.
All right, so this is, believe it or not, this is what we did. We shouldn't have done because we didn't do it legally. But we found ourselves in the truck in Florence. Saw the sand dunes. I just got the truck and just drove on it. I was just driving the truck on the sand dunes, but we didn't have like the flag that you did. And we didn't know like the road. We just saw it and just spontaneously just took the truck.
Exactly.
Going up and down. But it was an experience that I never. I'm from the south. And it's flat down there. So like there's no mountains. There's no opportunities to do any sand duning or any sloping, snow, anything like that. So it is really pretty cool being in a place like Oregon where you have all of these things to do, whether it's on the coast, whether it's inside of the forest, or inland or whatever. So that's one cool thing about this place. All right, so have you been fishing? You going camping in a tent, RV, trailer?
So yeah, I've actually never been like real camping before.
All right.
So Tag, if you're watching this, Tag, me and Dev, we're gonna go camping with you at some point. But that's something that like I would like to get out and do. Like something that piqued my interest. Like obviously I don't have like too much time like where I necessarily can go out and do it, but that is something like when the weather gets nice. The very few times it is like super nice out here, when it does get nicer, I do want to go out and camp a little bit. I used to go fishing all the time out here actually. Like when I've actually fished in this pond a couple times. Yeah, like I've gotten a couple bites here. But like you got a couple of good days. Definitely a little bit slow, and it's been like cold for a while. But I've definitely like fished a couple times since I've been out here. But I do want to get out and go camping.
All right. Oh, so as far as camping, like I've been camping a few times, and it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's not comfortable. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. But you do feel a sense of fulfillment, being out and camping, because it opens up a sense of vulnerability. You're at the what's the word I'm looking for? Mercy of the earth. If it rains, you gotta beat that. If it gets cold, you gotta figure out how to keep that fire going. You gotta figure out how to get food, and you gotta watch out for animals. So like I said, it's a real uncomfortable experience. But once you actually complete it, you feel a sense of fulfillment, and it's a feeling that you might not, get every single day.
Okay.
So, I want to let you know that as far as, how I felt camping. One crazy story that I had camping, this was back in Texas. I was, with my boys. We went on a group, kind of like a church kind of event, and we were on the lake. And we were just rafting, just talking on a tube, and just talking. But it's a pretty big lake. It's summertime. It's pretty windy, and we look up like after 30 minutes, and we in the middle of the lake. And it's a current, what I'm saying. So we can't really we're trying to get back to the shore, but it's just impossible. It's summertime. It's Texas. We don't have shoes on. And the only way to get back is to walk, but we barefoot, and it's like the road is hot.
Yeah.
So we just had to sit there and strategize, how are we going to get out of this dilemma? And we had to sit there and flag down boats who was, inside of the water at the time to come and help us out and get out of there. So that was my first experience camping, and it was negative.
Yeah.
But, us being, you being an athlete, us being self-starters, despite being in situations that are hard, you have to, keep on going and find ways to overcome it. And so, kind of diving back into that, overcoming adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Being a student athlete, being a young black male from Chicago. Just talk to me a little bit about your method, your strategy with adversity and overcoming it. We know that everything that you try to work for might not come easy to you. There might be roadblocks or different things in the way of that might obstruct where you're trying to go in life. So kind of talk to me about your strategy with dealing with adversity and how to get past it, and if there's somebody out there who's watching this, to kind of just let them know or share with them what your way and how you go about getting past that.
One thing I say, be able to find a deeper meaning, or be able to find like your sense of purpose for why you're doing things. Like for me, like growing up, I watched my mom like single-handedly like raise my brother and I like by herself. So that alone is like every time I think about like something that I go through, like a difficult situation or like a difficult play on the field or like something like that, I always think about like how my mom went through those things and like how she had to persevere and like raise me growing up. So that's something that I like to think about. And then also like don't never give up. You never know how close you are to like fulfilling your goals or like achieving something until you're there. So you can never give up, no matter how hard it looks or like what the circumstances seem. Just always have the utmost confidence in yourself to like know that you'll be able to pull through anything you put your mind to.
Yeah, because literally you could be working so hard for so long, and then today might be the day where you are about to give up. But little did you know that tomorrow was the day that everything you worked for came into fruition. So just kind of just having that backbone and knowing how to keep going. And whenever I say the statement "know your why," what does that mean to you?
Know your
like
why.
Knowing your why.
It's like
as an athlete, we all heard that before.
Yeah, know your why. It's like why do you do this? Like, so like for me, like I play football, but I don't just like play football just to play football. Like, why do I play football? I play football for like, or at least like what wakes me up in the morning is like I'm doing it for the people like who aren't able to be in this position and like who are watching me and like get their like motivation from me. I do it for my family who's like they've invested their time and their energy into me, like for me to get this far. And I didn't come this far just to make it this far. So are some of the couple things. Like more specifically, like more as of recently, I've always like, especially going through like workouts and stuff, I think about like my friend and my uncle who like passed away. I know they're always gonna be with me, and like I know that no matter what or no matter the difficulties that I go through, that they're always gonna be able to help me with it, like through that. So like I just started this, but I wrote their name. Like whenever I get like a pair of cleats, I write their names on them, and like I kind of put them on the insoles. And like whenever I'm going through like a tough time or something, I kind of like tap the side of my cleats or whatever, just because I to get that extra strength and like so they can help me get through whatever I'm going through. Yeah.
So yeah, everybody kind of has their own method or strategy with getting through things or keeping their mental state of mind strong during hard times. His method is writing down names of people who may not be here anymore, but might have left a positive impact on their life. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Just knowing that everybody, depending on where you are in life right now, and with everything that's going on in the world right now, like. Everything might appear one way on social media, but in real life, it might be a little bit harder.
Man.
You have to be conscious and be realistic about these kinds of things.
Don't believe everything you see on social media.
Yeah.
People only show their best parts on social media.
Exactly. So that's all you want to have, this authentic dialogue and and talk and touch on that to really just dive deep and take a step back and realize where we are and where we want to go and where we came from. Just being conscious of that. So yeah. All right, a random question, but kind of relevant to what we're talking about. You just have a moment to where someone just came to you and said, "Hey, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. You can do anything, no matter what it is. Where would you go? Why? What would you do there? Like what's that? If you just had that ticket, what do you have in your mind as far as like that destination?"
I'd say Fiji Islands. That's definitely
Fiji Islands.
Yeah, that's definitely on the top of my list. Just because it's peaceful out there, like the water's super clear, and I always like to take a step back and kind of just relax and see everything that like for what it is. There's not much like technology, like not much of like anything out there. It's just like really you're out there with like what God made, like the water, the island, the sand, the beach, like just everything like out there is just so peaceful and relaxing. So that's something that I would like a chance to experience, just so I can have a chance to kind of like reset, like clear my mind and just appreciate everything that God has done.
Fiji Islands, yeah, just for me, getting out there and getting away from the hustle and bustle of just life, you know, your everyday routine. It's really helpful to kind of, you know, just clear your mind up and gain that clarity, you know, what it is that I should be doing next. If you, you know, are conscious of that. Also, it's like you said, a reset. You know, there's a term that one of my good buddies from back then coined Nomadic Intelligence. And what that means to us is just the knowledge and ability to not, you know, stay in one spot, but have the ability to travel and meet new people, learn new cultures, taste new foods, you know, just try different things out. What that really does for a person is open up their perspective, opens up their you know, it closes those biases and opens up, you know, like I say, your perspective to different opinions and behaviors and different cultures around the world, and it can really help you out with gaining opportunities if you can, you know, open up your mind to, you know, new places. So for anybody who's watching this, travel, it's important. Everybody might not be able to do it, but there's opportunities and resources that places like Oregon offers, funding, scholarships, any internships, you know, anything that you could do. Just kind of just put your hands out there and just ask the questions, and you never know, you might end up inside of a new country doing something that you are passionate about, that you want to do, or you might end up out there just off of the, you know, the muscle of your own work. So travel. Fiji. Me, I would go to Greece. I like Greek mythology. I like those crystal blue waters, like you said too. The food is just, the Greek mythology, the structure is just something that's real nice to me. I like even the stories. I'm not sure if you read Troy or saw.
Fun fact: Troy? I actually took Latin in high school.
Okay, so you know about Rome, right?
Yeah, I read about.
Yeah, so we
Caesar
nerds
and all
too.
the Spartans.
You feel me? Right, that's fun. Achilles heel.
Yeah.
You know, so just opening up your mind to things that's outside of what you normally do is a good piece of advice that, you know, I would have to say to kind of just open up opportunities in your mindset. So like I said, travel, Nomadic Intelligence. Go to Fiji whenever you can. Go to Greece. Come to Eugene. Come check out Oregon. There's plenty of places out here that's beautiful. The coast, Mount Hood, Tillamook, the Dalles, you name it. You know, so yeah. All right, so you mentioned, you know, that you're studying, you know, business. So, you know, being inside of that field and kind of just a white collar corporate job, corporate role. Do you have a LinkedIn page?
I actually do. You guys can find me at Elijah J. Williams. That's my middle name. But yeah, I have it. I actually been using it for a while. I set it up in high school. I have a good amount of connections now. So like, if you guys ever want to reach out to me and find me, that's an easy way to do it. So
connect on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, hey, it's a great resource for anybody who is just trying to gain that visibility as a professional. And whatever it is that you're doing, it could be anything creative, anything administrative, whatever it is. It's a great professional. It's like Facebook for jobs. In other words, so I would highly recommend for any of you watching this to go and follow Elijah on his LinkedIn page. All right, man, it was a great podcast, a great conversation today. Authentic dialogue. Really just out here with Elijah Williams today to, like I said, talk about life. Just get in there. You know what I'm saying? It was a great time out here in Eugene at the stadium. Had a great time talking to you. Had a great time getting a chance to see the facilities, get a chance to get on the field, talk to you, and learn about your experience as an Oregon Duck here in Eugene, coming from Chicago more specifically. If there's anything that you have to say to wrap this conversation up, or, you know, to send us off, or anything you want to say to people who might be watching you in aspiration of becoming a Duck one day, or just going to any college that they can, you know, make it to, is there any message that you have to say?
Yeah.
Or?
So one thing I want to say, don't let anybody ever tell you what you can't do. Like, if you have a dream, follow it to the fullest. Always work so hard that your backup plan is that plan A works. So one thing I want to say, thank you for taking the time to come down and talk to me. Like, I really appreciate it. Everybody be sure to go watch Dolo Talks podcast. I appreciate it. Go Ducks.
Let's do it. Go Ducks. Or Sco Ducks.